Can you have public discussion of personnel issues, though? What do you think, Rod Lomas?
Well, personnel issues, of course, there's rights to be involved with the privacy of the individual. So that has to be taken into consideration before that's released to the public.
And on this larger question of managing consultation transparency, how would you do that?
Well, consultation and transparency, you're looking at a many-tiered level process. I mean, it's not only verbal communication, you're also looking at written matter and so forth. And as I said in my opening remarks, you know, council is about making informed decisions. Consultation takes place between staff members, council, and the public. When council is ill-informed through consultation with staff, through documents that are ill-prepared, that have critical information missing from them, such as the in-camera report regarding the Uplands low barrier housing issue, then those decisions can only fail.
Low barrier housing, which I know is very much a hot issue in your community right now, and how that was decided and how it relates to consultation and transparency. Mr. Rutan?
Well, thank you for sharing that. Well, you know, I think, and that's a very good point. I think let's remember that when this was started, the whole procedure, this was done about 6 or 7 years ago when then Premier Campbell set up a task force on homelessness, and the previous mayor at that point sat in on as a member of that group. And they identified at that time the need to have low barrier housing in Nanaimo, and 5 sites were chosen, 160 beds, and the capital amount required was $50 million, $50 million. And so it started, and as we unfold in this thing, you know, I know the reality is that it's hard to find a community that's going to put their hand up, an area of our community that's going to put their hand up and say, pick us. You're looking at someone for a reason, or am I?
No, I'm just looking ahead because...
okay, but in any event, do I get another couple minutes back? But anyway, but the point is that it's a very tough subject, but something has to be done with it. And I mean, when you look at the need out there on the street, I don't know how anyone can turn away and say they're fine, we don't need to look after them, they'll look after themselves. It just isn't going to happen. The province has put up a lot of money. A huge number of groups have got involved behind this one. We're in the process right now of getting the contracts back, and I understand there are 7 applications for operations.
Okay.
I'm still green.
No, but that's green for everybody. Darcy Olson, what would you say about consultation transparency, and do you want to speak to what we're talking about right now, this home for the homeless?
Home for the homeless is the right term. I believe that we do know what's going on now. We do know locations now. It's time to move forward with the information that we have. It's time to move people up and not out of communities. We're talking about sensitive subjects of human beings that are living on the streets, and we're trying to provide them with some safety and security. And every community here in Nanaimo has a church, has children's playing, has schools, has emergency services, has seniors. That's what a community is built on. And I really hope that we can come back together and we can work on what we can do as a community now with the information that we have, and stop being naysayers. Let's move forward.
Thanks, Mark. Sorry about this noise. That's the mic, not my knees. I know I make the councillors, the incumbents, chuckle when I say this. Everything about the Jerry Berry thing and the homeless housing was all decided before I was on council. I have nothing to do with it. But having said that, no, I'm with Darcy on this, and you know, for dramatics, I went and I promised not to mention I'm a firefighter. I was a firefighter. People are getting sick of hearing that, I know. But as a firefighter, I went to a call at the corner of Uplands and Rutherford. And that was that terrible incident where the man shot his wife in the back with a shotgun. And it was awful. Anyway, that was not a homeless person that did that. There's another incident where a man stabbed his wife to death in the north end of town. That was not a homeless person that did that either. So that's okay, all the dramatics are over with, but I just want to make that point. Now, consultation and transparency, you know, we have a lot of committees, we have a lot of panels, a lot of working groups, external organizations, neighborhood plans, and this is all consultatively done, I guess that's an expression. So I know we can do a better job. I know we can do a better job between council and staff as well, but we also need to do a better job between council and the citizens of Nanaimo. And we're working on it.
Some citizens think that their input is ignored, I think is what people in the community association are saying. So, and that's no different than many other communities in British Columbia, but can you think of a practical way to actually deal with that so people feel that what they think and what they feel is being taken into account? Darcy and then Mr. Zen.
I think that what I was saying in my opening statement about having neighborhood associations, it's really important for the neighborhood to get together and collectively come up with a plan and work together, because then the city has a group, not one person, but an entire group that's prepared to discuss, and then you've got the communication happening. They're not there to speak for every single member, but if you have a diverse enough people sitting down at the table, the conversation will flow and everyone's points hopefully will come across.
Okay, our time is going to go quickly here now, so everybody here wants to speak to this, I know. And
okay, well, just quickly, you know, one of the things that I'm proud of with this council is that we have been as inclusive as we possibly can be with people who want to come before council and present to us different matters. We've listened to them carefully. Whether we've been supportive or in agreement with their position is a different matter. Everyone's treated equally, everyone's treated with courtesy, and their opinion is important to us, and I think this council has been very strong on that point.
Rob?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, but of course there's some argument to the contrary of that. But I like Brian Fillmore's idea of the town hall meetings where people can physically get together, we can look to ourselves face to face, and we can have that conversation, and we can come to a consensus, or at least a collaboration.
George?
I like Darcy's point about the neighborhood association, but we should go a step further than that. Let's get all the neighborhood associations together and find out a vision of where we want to go as a city, because it's not just one neighborhood in Nanaimo, there's multiple neighborhoods. We're a city that right now seems to be divided by north and south business and residents, but we need to come together. Let's get the Harewood Association together with the South End Association, the Departure Bay Association. Let's all come together and build upon a Nanaimo that we can all be proud of, and that's going to take councillors who are actually willing to listen and respond to what people are saying, and that's how we need to move forward.
George is spot on where it comes to neighborhood planning. I came from the Departure Bay Neighborhood Association. I was a founding member of that. I know how important it is to do these things. Harewood still needs one, but there's also this other aspect, social media. The Parks and Recreation Department in Nanaimo has 4,000 friends that they communicate with. There's no reason why the other departments of the city can't do that either, and that way take the input that they have to have. Neighborhood planning, very important. Social media, really important as well.
Consultation, it's a wonderful theory, so why do some people feel like it's not happening?
Thanks, Mark. Well, quite often we're tied to the Community Charter and the Local Government Act. And, you know, when people want to be consulted or want to have input, they're not able to do that because we're limited by those acts. And, you know, if you give this group a forum to speak, then that group needs one as well. And if it doesn't appear in the community charter that you have to do that, then quite often it doesn't get done. And unfortunately, I think we have to get over that or around that somehow. And I still like, I hate to use Brian Fillmore, I think it was him that said that the town meetings or this type of thing is perfect.
Well, I'd hate to see, well, sorry, this microphone in the right place. What I've heard a number of times over here again is the Local Government Act is used for an excuse for blindness and deafness, and that's just not acceptable.
Okay, if they're bound by the act, where is there room for more consultation where it's not being used?
Well, before taking action that binds you in the act, we need to talk to the people. This is a council that is accountable to the public. You're employed by the people. The people are going to make a choice here on November 19th who their new council is going to be.
George Anderson.
The reason why people are so disenfranchised with local and municipal politics is because we continue to have this thing where we have our local politicians saying, oh, we're listening to what you're saying, we're going to do it. And then we wait and nothing happens. It's a continual, perpetual cycle of just have this no action, talk only sort of thing, which continues to happen all the time. And we actually need to listen to what people are saying and act upon it in a timely manner, set goals and set priorities and actually attain them.
Well, I don't want to be too harsh, but if I counted up all the charrettes, all the public meetings, all the open houses that I have gone to, and I have gone to many, where the turnout is minimal on some very important issues. Communication is a two-way street, and I think when the city advertises in the newspaper that a particular open house is going to be held, or that they put it on the website, and we get 15 or 20 people at an open house, then, you know, you haven't got anything to bitch about it unless you show up.
Okay.
Thanks, Mark. I'd like to speak to that. You know,
You'll be next.
sorry, Darcy. And quickly, George, you're a nice guy. We had beers the other day. Anyway, I don't agree with you, though. I think that a lot gets done. I have a list at home that I was going to bring today from my time on that was done in this council. And there is a lot being done, although some things don't seem to be done.
Final word on consultation, Darcy.
I think what we're talking about here is the method in which the information is getting out. The problem is that people aren't reading what's in the paper. There's the notices in there, I see them often too, and I skip through them. They're at the end of they're close to the classifieds. Oh, there we go. But I just want to point out, maybe we have to look at social media right now and work towards newer ways of getting the information out to you so that you know what's going on in your neighborhood 2 years ago up until now.
Very good. Thank you. We're going to wrap on this discussion right now. Thank you very much, candidates.